Welcome guys. Today is the third class, and from today onwards, you will see the interactive session. You will see everything here in the board, and that will give the more clarity than what two things, two last two sessions I have given. Last two sessions was basically very important. I don't know how much of you have understood these things, because that was the basic things where you have to understood that part completely, and then it will come to the board part and will understand it in a good way. So fine. So today we are going to see the processing. Last session we have seen, before in the last two session we have seen what is computer, what is data, what is processing. But today we'll see what all types of processing are there, and then we'll see in the brief what is the meaning of these all processing means. So the topic is processing. Okay, so the topic is processing. In the processing, what all types of processing are there, we'll see. So first is manual processing. Second is mechanical processing. Third is, it is very important, electronic processing. In the third point, we'll have to see, this is the branch of third point, that is batch processing, online processing, and real-time processing, and last is distributed processing. Okay, so we'll see about all these 3 points in detail. So what is this? In the third point, electronic processing, we'll have to study about what is batch processing, what is online processing, what is real-time processing, what is distributed processing. So basically, if you will talk from all this perspective, these all things is in the basic part, basic computer, nobody is understanding about these things. But because of the interest, I just wanted to explain these things so that you should be aware that what is the processing, what all types of processing exist in the world actually. So first is manual processing. I will talk about manual processing. Okay. See, in the manual processing, manual means the process which is not getting done by any tools or any system. That means a human, as a human like me and you, who is using their brain to do some processing. So let me say that I am giving you 3 plus 2, and you are not using any calculator, any machine. I am saying that you do 2 plus 3. What you will do? You will say 1, 2 and 3. 1, 2, 3. So it will become 5. So I have just given a very small example, and you have done it on the finger. You have used your brain, you have used your finger. Manually you are counting. So manual means what you are doing. Where is your effort is, you are putting your effort to do something. So manual processing means processing done by the human. processing done by human without any tool or technology. Manual processing means the processing which is done by the human without any tools or technology. I am not using any tool, I am using my finger to count 2 plus 3. But let me ask you one question. So I have just given 2 plus 3, you have done it very easily. But if I will say, do the calculation for 79527 plus 89217 into 600 plus 2000. I asked this question. I have directly said, 79527 plus 89217 into 600 plus 2000. Can you do it? Can you do able to do this like that? Like you will go 7, 9, these one things. Then what you will do? You will use your brain to get the value of this one. So to get this value, you will use your brain, but then also the possibility is, first thing is, you will get some error. It is not like once you have done this calculation, you will always get, everybody will be able to give the solution. Many can done the mistake in that particular calculation. And if you are not doing any mistake, then also to do all these things, it will take time, right? It is not like in 2 minutes or 1 minute you are able to, in 1 second you are able to find the solution. It is not possible for a human. So that means because you are doing this calculation manually from your end without any use of any tools or technology, so the chances of error is high, as well as it is time consuming. So I can say that the manual processing is very slow, as well as chance of error is high. Okay. So I said if you are doing manual processing, then processing done by human without any tools or technology. If you are doing manual processing, that means it will be very slow. If you are doing manual processing, that means chance of error is very high. So why? Because in the life we are living as of now, we do not have time to do, we do not have time to think much, we have to work fast. So if you go by a very slow system, do you think that you can sustain in this running life, modern life? No. If I will say that you are doing so much of error, then there is no value. In the current day scenario, the world we are living as of now, there is no gap, there is no space for the human who is doing mistake. You are not allowed to do any mistake as of now. As well as you should not be slow. That means you should be fast, you should not do any mistake. That is what the expectation of the world as of now. So that means we have to move from manual processing to the different processing. So next processing is mechanical processing. Next processing is mechanical processing. You can write it down if you want. I just wanted to spell it. Manual processing means processing done by human without any tool or technology. Second point, it is very slow. Third point is chance of error is very high when we are doing the manual processing. So next we are coming to the mechanical processing. So mechanical processing, see, of course, mechanical processing will have the advantage over the manual processing. Okay. So in the mechanical processing, you are going to use the tools or the technology. So what I am saying, here you will be using the tool, using the technology or tools. When I say tools, that means instrument basically. So what tools? If I will take an example of typewriter, what typewriter is doing? It is performing, it is doing some operations on the content on the word, and they are giving some big paper with the content, right? So typewriter is, you can see that in the earlier days, some year before, Many are using, many of the content office or some of the court. If you go to court, you can see that the typewriter is getting used to type something. So that is a machinery thing, mechanical things. So in that mechanical things, typewriter is there. There is many other mechanical devices are there, but the thing is that mechanical devices will have some constraint. If you use typewriter, you can only type. You cannot watch the movie on that typewriter. You cannot process any other thing on the typewriter. So that means also the size of the typewriter is used. So what we have seen, the size is used as well as there is a limitation of the work. They cannot do all the work. So in the mechanical processing, the tools, what we are using, the tools will have a limitation of work. Okay. So as well as it is bigger in size. As well as it is bigger in size, limitation of work means you cannot expect all the work, all type of work that mechanical instrument can do. And the mechanical processing will have a problem of storage. Whatever you are doing, you cannot store it in the laptop. I'm just, I will come to the electronic processing, then I will explain on that. But you can see that in the laptop, you are able to store so many photos, videos, contents. So that means there is a storage. But in the mechanical processing, there is no storage. So what is the problem? A storage problem. So you can see that in the manual processing, there was a problem of very slowness, but in the mechanical processing, that slowness is getting rid of. Rid of means we are not facing the slowness problem in the mechanical processing, but the another problem is there is a limitation of work. You cannot do extra work, as well as there is a problem with the storage, as well as there is a bigger in size to keep it somewhere. So the next processing we have come is electronic processing. So this processing, electronic processing, one of the important, and this is the life actually. This electronic processing is our life. Electronic processing means the processing done by the computer. So let me tell you one thing. First thing you have to understand and we have to write, processing done by computer. If you do the processing by computer, okay, if you do the processing by computer, that means you have got the advantage of the high speed. There will be no slowness, and we are living in the modern life. As I have said in the manual processing, if you are living in the modern life, we all are in the 20th century, and in this 20th century, if you are slow, you are nowhere in the world. If you go by the traditional way of study, if you go and study the things and write the answers, you are thinking that I will get a marks and I will, everything is fine. You are in the problem, because in the traditional culture, in the modern life, things are getting changed. Marks, knowledge is more important than marks, and that things need to be done fast. Brain should be fast. Understanding, capturing ability of yours should be fast. So that is why we have to use the computer now. If you go by mechanical processing, you will fail. If you go by manual processing, you will definitely fail. So you have to come with the electronic processing. So electronic processing means the processing which is done by the computer. So once the processing is done by computer, that means it will be very fast. There will be no chance of error. Okay. So in the electronic processing, that means the processing which is getting done by the computer, which is very fast. You will not have to wait. If you will give this example to the computer that do this task, it will give you in 1 second. Even a 1 second is more, it is 0.0001 second. It will give the solution for this question in 0.001 second. and if you will do on this calculation, you will take 10 minutes, and then also the chance of error is high, but computer will do without any error. You can understand the difference why we should have to move to the computer technology, computer world. Nowadays, not only this calculation, this is just an example I have given. If you go to the different parts of electronic processing, you can understand what all things we are doing and why we use electronic processing. So we'll discuss about batch processing, online processing, real-time processing, distributed processing in one by one. So just understand that that electronic processing, we are also saying this as a EDP. In the short form, we are saying it as a EDP, electronic data processing. So here one question you have to remember, and that is the very important question. You can ask to any other person also, as well as you can see this question is asked in many exams. Question will be, the computer is, question will be like, first question, the computer is, option is A, manual processing device, option B, mechanical processing device, option C, electronic processing device, option D, none of these. What you will tick? You will tick C, it is an electronic processing device, right? And if you, question will be, second question will be, which processing is first? First, manual processing, second, mechanical processing, third, electronic processing. What you will tick? You will tick electronic processing is first. So let me write these questions also here. I am just erasing this one. You can note it down if you want. You can note it down. So I will just, if you have any problem, I am just repeating what is mentioned. Manual processing, it is mentioned as processing done by human without any tools or technology. First point is this. Second is, it is very slow. Third is, chance of error is high. It is in the part of manual processing. Second is mechanical processing. You can see here, I have mentioned using the technology or tools. That means in the mechanical processing, you are using the tools or technology. Second point, it is mentioned limitation of work. You have a limitation, whatever the processing technique here, you can write the example as typewriter. You can write the example as typewriter. Okay, so that means using the technology or tools. Second is limitation of work. Third is bigger in size. Fourth is a storage problem, and fifth is typewriter is the example of mechanical processing. So next we are talking about electronic processing. In this one you can write example is computer. Computer is an electronic processing device. Second, you can write very fast. Third, you can write there will be no chance of error. Fourth, you can write electronic processing device. We can write in the short form as EDP, electronic data processing. Okay. So let me put some questions. Then I will discuss on the batch processing. On the electronic processing, what all questions can be asked? Okay, so hopefully you have, if you have not written, I have just deleted this one. So if you have not written, you can go to back to the video and you can write it down and just write it down these things, and then I will go further. Fine, so I am erasing it. So I have told two questions, right? I have told two questions. First question is, the objective question will come in many of the exams, even in the SSC exams, even in the banking exams, in the railway exam, even in the IBPS exams, even in the, if you write some of the engineering exams also nowadays, they are asking the basic of computers. So there, one question can be asked, the computer is, option A is manual processing device. Option B is mechanical processing device. Option C is electronic processing device, and option D is none of them. So I have told the question, the computer is manual processing, mechanical processing, and what answer will be there? The answer is C. C is electronic processing device. So this question you can make a note. The next question is, okay, you can make a note of it. Fine. So next question is, the computer is, question will be which processing is fast? Which processing is fast? A option is electronic data processing. B option is manual data processing. C option is mechanical data processing. Mechanical data processing. D option is none of them. None. So my question is, which processing is fast? I have told you that electronic processing EDP, that is EDP, this is fast. So you can take out at electronic data processing. So you just remember these two questions, keep in mind. Write it down. Fine. So now we will see the points mentioned in the electronic data processing, that is batch processing, online processing, real-time processing, distributed processing. See, these all things what I am giving here is not a part of basic things, but you have to remember that these all are the questions which is very few person is knowing about all these things. So just keep it in mind. Okay. So next point is in the electronic data processing. In the electronic data processing, we'll have first is, in the electronic data processing, first is batch processing, second is online processing. Third is real time processing, and fourth is what? Fourth is distributed. Okay, so briefly I will give you no detail on the briefly I will explain this one. I will not go in very much of the details, but understand this thing. This is also important. Electronic data processing means we are talking about computer processing. In the computer processing, that means you can say that the computer is doing the processing in four ways: batch processing, online processing, real-time processing, distributed processing. Okay, so see, batch processing, batch means what? If I will say in your batch 16 student is there, or I will ask a question to you, in a batch how many students are there, then what you will think? You will think that batch means a sequence, a group. In your batch how many students are sitting? So what is the strength of your batch? That means I am asking the question that in your batch how many student is there, what is the roll numbers. So that means it is a sequence. So in the batch processing we can say that means the data processing, because I am talking about computer, so computer always process on the data. So that means the process of data will be done sequentially. In the batch processing, what we will do? Data processed sequentially. Data processed sequentially. Okay. Next is the data should be organized in the batch way. So okay, fine, just let us understand a little bit more. See, I will say okay that you can ask what is the meaning of sequence cell. Sequence meaning your roll number is 1, and then 2 will come, then 3 will come, then 4 will come, then 5 will come. So that is the sequence. You cannot say 1, 2, 5, 7, 8, 9. That is not a sequence. Sequence means series. So that means, let us say a task is given to computer. What task? The task is given that we have to disperse the salary. We have to give the salary to different employee. Let us say I am taking what our school example. And our school is giving the salary to different teachers. We are doing it manually. What we are giving it? We are giving it manually to different teachers. That is a manual processing. But if I will do the same processing in terms of computer, then we can do it as a batch processing. What we will do? We will create a batch job. We will create a sequence that first we will have to, I will tell to computer, see, do one thing. You just process data for first teacher this one, then for the second teacher this one, then for the third teacher this one, then for the fourth teacher this one. So in that way, all the teachers will get the salary sequentially. Like first message will go to this teacher, and second it will go to this teacher, third it will go to this teacher, like that. So that means a batch processing means data which is processed sequentially. So you will come to know these things in the senior high level, okay? But just remember that batch processing means a sequential processing. You can get a questions from here that what all types of electronics data processing. Then you can say that there is 4 types of electronic data processing. One is batch processing, another is online processing, another real-time processing, another is distributed processing. Then next question will be that what is the meaning of batch processing? Option will be it is sequential processing, it is a distributed processing, it is a random processing. What you will do? We can say that it is a sequential processing. Next come with the online processing. This is very important and very renowned actually. We all are doing about this particular thing. online processing. The word online. Online means what? Everybody is using the term. I come online. I do online. Hey, he is not online. In the WhatsApp, you can see that when somebody is saying it is online, he is not online. So, what is this online means? Where did this word came from? This word came from the internet. If you are using the internet and if you are awake at that point, then only you will be online. If I will say, see, I'm using a WhatsApp but I don't have a data pack, I don't have a internet connections in my mobile, can you ever come online? You cannot come online. That means online processing means the processing which is getting done by the use of internet. So what is this online processing? Processing done by use of internet. Don't worry about internet. I will give a very detailed information on what is internet. The internet you are understanding and the internet definition and the description I will give, you will feel there is no relation, because many are not, everybody is using internet, even the village level everybody is using the internet, but if you ask the questions to even of the literate person who is having the knowledge of computer, he will not able to see what is internet. So internet is a very vast topic, many things are there. So you can just say online processing means the processing which is done by the use of internet, which is of course overware, which is attached to the computer. Processing done by the use of internet which is attached to the computer is called online processing. Okay. So in the online processing, you can transfer your data. In the manual processing, let us go back in the manual processing, what I said you are doing. So if I will say, see, you have to send some data to your uncle whose house is like 1 kilometer after your house. In the manual processing, what you will do, you go with the data, you will take it and you will go and give it to him after you have to walk or you have to go by some vehicle and you have to give it. But that will take time. That's what I said, it is very slow, it will take time, and might be possible that you are not able to reach to that 1 kilometer, there will be some problem happen with you in the way. But if you talk about online processing, the data transfer is done over the internet and you do not have to go anywhere. Only one thing is needed is what? Internet. So data transfer is done all together different places. So we can do the data transfer easily. Okay. So we can do the data transfer easily. So wherever we are using the online processing, if you talk about Facebook, if you talk about WhatsApp, if you talk about Facebook, if you talk about WhatsApp, what they are doing? In the Facebook, you are opening the Facebook and you are going to Messenger and you are writing something to some other post, it is directly getting posted. What do you think? Is there any magic happening? No. This is the computer, this is the online processing, because of that only it is happening. So that is what you can understand, that nothing is magic, everything is technique. And that is why this computer software engineer is so much working. That is why they all are software engineers, need to be respected for these things. Your life became easy, you are doing everything by the use of computer, but you are not thinking, you are not able to understand what a software engineer is. These all things software engineers work. If you will become a software engineer or if you will become a computer analyst, you have to do all these things. Then you can understand that computer is electronic data processing, but understand what is data processing, who is doing this one. This is done by the engineers. So brain, you will use your mind, your physical, not your physical, hard, physical mehnat is not there. There is no physical labor is there. There is only a labor of your mind, and you will feel very tired if you use too much of mind. So online processing means the processing which is done over the internet by the use of computer, which that means you can transfer your data easily. There is many more things, not only transfer, but just an example, you can transfer your data easily, as well as let us say some example. If you use fast Facebook, WhatsApp, everything, you are sending some message to go on. That means some online processing done. So this is an example of online processing. Now we'll talk from the real-time processing. What is real-time processing? Okay, I will read it again. You can write it down after some time. First understand. So real-time processing. Okay, real-time. Real-time means what? Instantly. Real-time process means instant processing. Real-time processing means instant processing. What is that instant processing? See, if you are doing some critical task, if you are using WhatsApp, if message is not sent, it does not mean that you are in danger. If you are using Facebook, if let us say for 2 minutes Facebook is not opening or some internet problem happened, it is fine. After 2 minutes you can work. There is nothing else. There is no problem. But if there is any task, I will give you the example. First understand, if there is any task for which if you will do just a second of mistake, it will give the dangerous result. Like, you can see that a train is coming, okay, you can see that train is coming and there is one signal there, okay. So signal is up and down, okay. So this is the signal. So this is the railway track. Here is a signal block, and from here you can see that this blocking is there. You can see that train is coming. One person is standing here, and he is taking up the signal, taking down the signal. Okay. That means one train is coming on the railway track. A signal person is standing here, and he is let the signal get down, let the signal get up. If let us say if he will do a single mistake, let us say train is coming, people is crossing this one railway track, train is coming from here, people is going from here, and here the people is going, and this person who is responsible to use that signal, if they have put the signal up, what it will happen? This train will go, and these people who is traveling here will become in danger. They will die because of the train. That means you can understand that the signal processing, the real-time processing is happening here. They cannot do any mistake. They have to directly, they do not have a time to think for the second. If they will do a second mistake, people will be in danger. So that is why. So do you think that this signal processing, there is no computer? Think about that. Everywhere in every work, computer is there. So here also the computer is there. So this process, the process happening here at the signal is the real-time processing. That is what the instant processing. Just understand it will be interesting. You will think like see, in the world everything is computer. Even you talking for the computer, signal, railway signal, it is a computer. If you're talking from the Facebook, it is computer. If you're talking from the sequential processing, it is a computer. If I will talk from the ATM part, I will discuss in the distributed processing, that is a computer. So everything is computer. So just keep in mind. So you understood like instant processing what? The processing which need to be done instantly without a mistake of a second. That means it is a real-time processing, and that is also done by the computer programs. That is also a responsibility of computer. So in this one you can say example is railway signal. Fine. Next, as this process is very quick, that means of course the amount we have to spend for this technology, because here the technology is getting used, computer technology is getting used. The technology which is used by the real-time processing will be very high cost. Real-time processing will be high cost. That you have to keep it, but of course you are giving the high cost, but you are getting a life. You are saving a life to many person. So that is what you do not have to think only from the cost perspective, you have to think from the life perspective, and that is what a computer motto is. Okay, you can also see that sometime you are putting some let us say you want some data, you cannot wait for some data, it should be like banking transaction. If you talk from the banking transaction, bank transaction, what is happening in the bank transaction? If you go to bank, let us say you do not know anything about computer, and you have gone to bank, and as per the normal process you have filled the debit form, and you have gone to the accountant section, you said like, okay, this is the form, I need the amount. What the accountant will do in the bank, what they are doing in the bank, just understand the bank perspective also. They are not doing any jadoo, they are a bank professional, just a job. But who is coming here? Computer. Without computer they cannot do, manual things cannot be done in the bank, otherwise your one work can be done in the 10 days, and because of the computer your one day work can be finished in the half an hour. That is the difference. So in the bank transaction, do you think that you want like bank transaction to be slow? You have listened so many times like a link is not there in the bank. If you go to bank, many of the time you can see in the village like link is not there. The problem is, if link is not there, then transaction will not happen. But the bank transaction is real time processing, so your amount will stuck somewhere, and that is why banking transaction also need a high quality of internet. It is a real time processing, because you need a amount. If you can say like I have gone to bank. Do you think that today you have gone to bank, you have submitted that, okay, I need an amount from the bank, you have given a debit form, and if you will say, accountant will say, okay, come tomorrow, and tomorrow I will give you amount. Do you think that you will believe? No, you will say that I have filled the form, give me the amount. Why? And they will be able to give the amount, because the real time processing is happening there. So this is the real time processing. So just write it down, and then we'll talk about distributed processing. So the thing is electronic data processing. There is a batch processing. The batch processing means data processed sequentially. Online processing done by use of internet, our computer, means which is attached to the computer. Second is data processing. Data transfer is easy in the online processing. Example is Facebook, WhatsApp. If we talk from the real time processing, that means instant processing. Example is railway signal. That is what I have said. You just remember this. This particular example, it is very critical. So anybody will ask that in the railway signal, what all is there any computer involved? You can say that not only computer involved, the computer having the real time processing is involved in the signal processing. Okay, then another thing is of course real time processing need it is a very high quality processing, so it need high cost. You have to pay more for that. And then you can take another example like a bank transaction. You can write it down, then we'll talk about distributed processing. Fine. So I am erasing it off. I will talk about distributed processing. What was remaining? It was the distributed processing. Fine. See, you can think of one thing. See, if you talk about the ATM, I'm talking about ATM. You can see that ATM is at many places, okay? In one particular location, let us see in the Dior and Guwahati, you can find 2 ATMs, 3 ATMs. Because it is a village, so you can find only one ATM, that is also possible. But if you go to little bit in the town side, you will go to Madhubani, you can find many ATM of different banks. If you come to more metro city like Bangalore, like Mumbai and all, you can see that in the 5 minutes of distance there is a multiple ATM. And you can go to any ATM and do the transaction. Let us say I'm talking about SBI, the State Bank of India. So State Bank of India will have many ATM, right? 1 ATM, 2 ATM, 3 ATM, 4 ATM. It is just in the 5, let us say 5 kilometer, maximum 5 kilometer, you can find 4 ATM. In the 5 kilometer, we have 4 ATM of SBI. That means it is not like if you go to first ATM, you will not find money, and if you go to second ATM, you will find any money. It is not like that. You can go to any ATM and you can do the transaction. And any ATM will detect your card, ATM card, and you can get the amount, right? So how you are, do you ever think how that one particular machine is detecting my ATM card at any place and giving some amount? So that means you are doing the transaction here, but State Bank of India, okay, State Bank of India will have a bigger server room. It's a big server room. So that means there is a big room of SBI, okay, and this is distributed at a different place. This particular server room is present at one location which is containing all the data of yours, of your ATM card details and all. And SBI is distributed, because if everybody will come to this particular location, it is not possible. So they have given the distribution technique. See, I am here, but you can go to this ATM also, you can find the data, because I am authenticating from here. I am checking you that whether you are correct or not. I am staying here, but you can go to your nearest location and you can track the amount. You can transact the amount. You can go to second ATM, you can transact the amount. You can go to third ATM, you can transact the amount. You can go to fourth ATM, you can transact the amount. You can go to any part of our country, and you can transact your amount. There is no any part of our country, right? So that means it is a distributed processing. This particular detail is distributed to different place, and everybody can go and process your data. Everybody can go and transact yourself, whatever the amount you want to transact from the ATM. So okay, so that means it is not like some jadoo, some magic is happening here. In this one, this is a server room basically. This big room is called server room. From this server room, they have all the codes program. This program is called software program. This big room is a server room which is having the program that is called software program, And because of this software program, because of this software code, so what is that software and hardware that I will discuss in the software and hardware part, but just let us understand, because of this software program, this machine is whatever. Let us say I have gone to first ATM. This is the first ATM. I have gone and I have inserted the card. So when I will insert my ATM card, the credential, you have to put the pin, right? Once you will put the pin, this pin will become here directly. It will, there is a machine here in the first ATM also machine is there, but this machine, they are saying that give your password. You have given, let us say, password 1 2 3, some password you have given. This password is directly thrown by this system, this ATM, to the main server room. In the main server room, the software programs are there. This software program will detect whether this password is really correct for this particular user or not. If it is not correct, they will throw the signal from here, it is wrong. From here it will say it is wrong, and this information will go to the first computer, and here this computer will say to this particular person, see, whatever the pin you are entering is wrong, and that is why you cannot transact. Please enter the correct pin. So see, you are nobody is understanding that why this ATM you are going and transacting the amount, but the real functionality is here. Real functionality is this software. If this software will fail, this ATM will give the problem. So that does not mean if this ATM has a problem, that means always you have to come to here. Might be the because program is here, but the supporting things is present in the supporting device is present in this machine also. So this machine send the signal to this particular big server room. This server room has another software program. It will detect all the credentials what you will be using. It will throw, and if you are correct, that it will say, okay, if I enter the amount you want to transact. If you are giving anything wrong, it will say that it is wrong. So in this way, it is processing. So this is called the distributed processing. So distributed processing basically means you have a remote workstation, okay, connected to the big central workstation. This is the big central workstation, and this is a remote workstation. So what is workstation? Workstation and the desktop, laptop, these all things will work study in the types of computer. Okay, so this is a big server room, that is a big workstation. You can say that it is a workstation. In the big workstation, you have a small remote workstation. In the remote workstation, you are doing something, transacting the amount. If you have to enter the credential. If your credential is wrong, it will first it will come here and validate. If they will find, this software program will find, the software code will find, okay, fine, your password is wrong, so it will send the signal from here. Again it will go to this particular team. So see, this is present at some other location. It is not present in Gavardia, Madhubani or somewhere. It is present at some other location. Might be Mumbai, might be Delhi, somewhere else. But you are doing the transaction in the Gavardia location, you are doing the transaction in the Madhubani location, and you are able to get the error. They are able to find that, okay, user is wrong or pin is wrong. So that this is the distributed processing. See the computer approach, how the computer is working. They are detecting any of the errors. So this is called the distributed processing. So write it down first, and then we'll give some example of real data processing. Real time processing example, I will give some more example, then we'll see the further. Fine. Let me erase it. what I will see, give you now, it is an example of real time process. So examples of real time processing. Right? Examples of real time processing. What I said real time processing is you need the response at the same time. So first example is airline reservation system. Airline reservation system. You are doing the reservation for the flight. You want to go from Patna to Delhi via the aeroplane. So you have to do the reservation of airlines. So in the airlines reservation, it is not like you have given the request just now and tomorrow they will come with the detail, okay, these are the flights available. You need that flight details as of now. So you just give the entry over any of the reservation website where you can make the reservation. Let us say make my trip of some other websites, and if you put like my source is Patna, destination is Delhi, date is today, whatever the date, my person is 2-person or 4-person, and then you click here at search. If you click on this search, it will give a detailed list like, okay, these are the flights are there, these are the amounts are there, you can book here, book option will be there, you can book it. So this is a real time processing data. Okay. So if somebody will ask the question that I want to do the reservation, so what you will say, okay, this is a real time data processing. You have to do the reservation. That means you have to give the details, and I will check once we'll have an internet connection, and that time only you have to say that which one I have to book. Otherwise next time might be the rate will change. So that is the real time processing. Another is cinema booking. Everybody is, you guys might be knowing that you are going to cinema, right? Theater. So there also, if you are going to theater and if you have to book the ticket, do you think that you go and pay the money today and you will get the ticket for tomorrow? No, right? You want like, okay, I have paid the money, you just give me the ticket, I want to go and watch the movie. So that is a real time processing. Third, we can talk about banking system. That's what I have said. Banking system. Fourth example is hospital system. So see, hospital system, it might come in the real time, might not come in the real time, but if you are using the software to give some in the hospital basically, that means some critical patient, real time processing is needed. It is not like I have some emergency people has gone to hospital and hospital will say that, okay, give the data, I will give the bed tomorrow for the emergency. It is not. For the emergency, they are just giving the bed without thinking, just taking the data and then entering in the computer, and then they are giving that, okay sir, this bed is in this particular room, this bed is open, you go and have this because you are in the emergency. So in the emergency purpose, hospital system is also a real-time processing system. So these are the real-time processing system examples. You can make a note of this. So today we have seen the complete details of processing. Hope this session will be interesting because it is a real time. Today we have interactive sessions. You have any questions on these all things, you can ask the questions, and you will get this type of session and more interesting session in the coming days. Okay, tomorrow we will see about the generation and history of computer, and then we'll see the hardware of computer, and from there we'll start some interesting fact. You just give 1 hour or 2 hour time in the computer class, that is more than enough. Do not give much of the time. You can give in other things also. You have other things to study, and you can give some time on this part and you can learn much. Thank you so much.